So times of pressure really reveal our issues. And we're under a time of pressure right now. And so it's pretty reasonable to think that our issues are rising to the surface. And I think a common issue for many of us would be the anger issues we experience. And so oftentimes there's anger that's kind of bubbling beneath the surface. And if we don't really pay attention to that and find appropriate expressions for our anger, we can end up in some really damaging situations. You see, anger is one of those emotions that's a dominant emotion. We think we can control it, maybe even direct it, but it's an emotion that overtakes us and overwhelms us and then ultimately impacts every one of our relationships and encounters when that anger is there. And so it's important to recognize anger and where it's coming from and why it's there, and then express it in a way that is appropriate. We're told in the Bible, it says, in your anger, do not sin. You see, anger in and of itself is not a sin. All of us experience anger from time to time, but in our expression of that and in dealing with that and working through it, don't allow it to create sin. Don't allow it to prevent you from sharing love with another person or even disengaging relationally in a way that doesn't honor God. Instead, be aware of that anger. And the more we're aware of it, then I think we can grab a hold of it, be in control, and work through it and express it in a way that's healthy. And so, first of all, I would say, hey, be aware of maybe what causes anger within you. I identified a few of the things that are pretty common for me, and I think we will probably resonate with as well. One of the things that causes anger in me is when I feel out of control, when I don't understand what's going on around me. And so like right now would be a time where, anger would probably rise up in with me because I don't understand, the changing nature of our world or what's happening, and that loss of control causes me to feel anger. Another reason I feel angry is if I've been threatened or I'm afraid. And so, that could be my health, a threat towards my family, economic threat, something like that might cause me to feel angry, and I have that anger expressed. Another one would be when I have unmet expectations. When I'm disappointed, a lot of times then I will express anger out of that. And I found that in those times, my unmet expectations were often unspoken expectations. They weren't communicated. Maybe they were even expectations I wasn't even aware of that I was putting on another person or maybe even on God. See, that's the thing about anger. Sometimes we get angry at other people. Sometimes we get angry at people we don't even know. Sometimes we're angry at God himself. But a lot of times I think we get angry at ourselves. And when that anger is present, it really does just kind of envelop us completely. There's one other reason I get angry that I've noticed, and that's when I notice that something is wrong. When something's wrong and it's just not as it should be, and I don't know what to do about it, sometimes there's an anger that's there. And so I think if we could recognize, okay, what's causing this emotion within me, and we really grab hold of that, then we have the opportunity to say, all right, here it is. This is what I'm experiencing. Now, God, how do you want me to deal with it? What's the appropriate expression for this? Is this something that I can work through and step through and gain some understanding or some clarity, or maybe have better communication, an unmet expectation? Hey, I was thinking this or feeling this way, and instead this occurred. Maybe it's that loss of control and saying, all right, I'm going to exercise faith right now and say I don't have to be in control. I can trust the one who is. Maybe if it's that threat that's there to go, oh, okay, it's all right. I don't have to feel threatened. I know that God is for me, not against me, and I know that I can have peace with him. Or if we see something that's wrong, maybe there's something we can do about it. Maybe even if we can't fix the problem, maybe we can actually go through it with somebody else or be an encouragement or a blessing to them. And so as you have anger and as you experience that and as the pressure of this life mounts and that issue rises to the top, pay attention to it. Don't deny it. Don't necessarily suppress it or push it down, but rather identify it, take it captive, take it before God, and find the appropriate expression that glorifies him and also puts you in a position to best share his love with others. So in your anger, do not sin.